More Outnumbered in just a moment, but first, let's touch base with Harris on what's coming up on Outnumbered Overtime in just a few minutes. Harris.
Boy, we got a hot show for you today. The president's dire warning to Iran after a rocket landed near the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. Any attack on the United States will mean the official end of Iran. Military veteran and Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin will join me on how the president is handling this. And from sanctuary cities to sanctuary airports, former U.S. citizenship chief Alfonso Aguilar on why the feds are taking on Washington state officials over that issue. Outnumbered Overtime atop the hour. Melissa, back to you.
All right, looking forward to it.
Our American economy is on fire. I'm not going to tell you if it's a fire that keeps you warm or burns your house to the ground, but it's some kind of fire. So I'm on cruise control to a second term, and there's nothing the Democrats in Congress can do about it.
There he goes again. Trump critic Alec Baldwin with his parody of President Trump on Saturday Night Live's season finale. President Trump sometimes hitting back at Baldwin, but a piece in Politico magazine suggests that the actor's portrayal of a bumbling president could actually be helping Trump. It says, quote, by giving Trump qualities he's shown little evidence of in public, conscience, introspection, even regret, SNL does him an enormous favor. It offers a glimmer of sympathy about his motives. Meantime, some TV critics say the show needs to give the Baldwin-Trump routines a break, that they become tired and they've become stale. I just want to add, there's a piece in The Atlantic about this as well, about how lazy this season was. I tend to think this doesn't really matter because a specific type of person watches SNL and they don't care about this, but do you think they're helping Trump out?
I think, SNL has been on for so long and they've done so much great political parody. And if you go back and look at Daryl Hammond and even Chevy Chase doing Gerald Ford, it was so funny. It was so great. Kate McKinnon as Hillary Clinton was classic.
Kate McKinnon as everybody.
Yeah, but yeah. Alec Baldwin hates the president so much that comes through, and it makes it so it's not as much fun. And it's also very predictable what he's going to say and what they're going to do. And that's a failure on their part. They can do so much better. There are so many incredible and talented writers that they could choose from. So they just they have to be a little bit better about
Chris, if you were writing for SNL, what would your Trump joke be?
The whole thing's an interesting argument, but I don't think people pay enough attention to Saturday Night Live for it to have a practical impact on American culture. I mean, there was a time, as you mentioned, where what Saturday Night Live did drove conversation for a section of America, but that time is decades in the rearview mirror. And at this point, if they'd played him on the last episode of Game of Thrones, we'd probably be talking about it. It could probably have an impact, but yeah, Saturday Night Live, it just doesn't really matter.
It's interesting. First of all, that Political article is such a slam because obviously it's saying that he humanizes President Trump, and President Trump is not human. So that is in and of itself kind of funny. But I was struck by, so I don't watch the show in general, but, if there's a good clip, everybody passes it around and you watch it the next day. And I was shocked by how his impression has gotten so much worse. Like, it used to be, I thought, very funny at the beginning. He was hysterical. And now it's kind of got where it doesn't seem like it really resembles the president that much anymore. I mean, I agree with you. They do such good comedy. It does seem like it's gotten a little lazy.
And that happens every few years. SNL hits a low spot, and then they seem to bump it up a little bit. And hopefully they'll take a more measured approach to the 2020 election cycle, because it is going to be such a gift. So you can't just go after Republicans. That's so boring. It is so predictable. Go after everyone.
But when you watch the way that they do The View, they are going after everyone. I mean, the way that McKinnon plays Joy Behar is fierce, right? And Whoopi Goldberg as well. So they are trying to do that. But in terms of a little revamp, I don't know, did you guys see Adam Sandler's tribute to Chris Farley?
That was so
there are moments like that make you think back to how fantastic
the days
it was.
When it was good.
Or, when they did Sean Spicer, that was pretty funny. During the campaign, they gave him a whole lot of, the campaign definitely gave them all kinds of material. And then afterwards, going right into the White House in the beginning of an administration, maybe it's just that we're so deep into the Trump administration that they need to move on to another subject.
Or that Melissa McCarthy is just a perfect human.
That could be.
And
That's
can do
possible
anything.
Too.
We've got to go. More Outnumbered in just a moment.